A very good morning to everyone. I'm Dr. Asma Begum, Academic Coordinator and Senior Lecturer from University of Bolton, RAC Academic Center from United Arab Emirates. For today's session, I've selected the topic segmentation from a Year 3 module, Global Marketing. This module basically helps you in getting a critical understanding towards global marketing processes. It also helps you in gaining experience in evaluating the various challenges faced by a manager in developing and deployment of various global marketing strategies. For this purpose, we've covered the differences between marketing and global marketing in our previous lessons. Also, we have seen how an organization whose strategy is to expand, how they link their marketing strategies with their corporate strategies. For this purpose, they do various audits, internal analysis and the external analysis. Internal analysis helps them to understand what kind of strengths, weaknesses they have, and what kind of opportunities and threats they can face. With the help of this, they make further decisions to do external scanning. For this purpose, they do pestle analysis, Potter's 5-force analysis, and industry analysis, etc. This helps them to make a decision whether they will expand into the host country or not. For this purpose, they need more information, which is collected through market research. This data helps them to not only make a decision, but also further segment the total population, target, and position themselves in the market. So for this purpose, let me share the screen and start with the lesson we have seen previously. So segmentation is basically dividing your total population into small segments based on characteristics, similar characteristics. Yes. So today's lesson is focused on market segmentation. So market segmentation divides the total market into smaller segments. This further helps the organization to decide which segment they will target and what kind of different products they will offer for those segments depending on their income, age, gender, etc. And then they will be able to position themselves in the market. Can one of you tell me from the lesson we've learned, segmentation, how do an organization segments these markets? Yes, very good. We do it through geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, and behavioral segmentation. Can one of you explain what is geographic segmentation is? Yes, very good. Geographic is where you divide your total population into different regions, countries, states, etc. Many multinational and transnational companies do this to target their market. While if you look into the demographic segmentation, can one of you give me an example what is demographic segmentation is and with an example of a company? Excellent. Demographic segmentation is correct. Yes, it's where you divide your total population based on age, gender, income, education, etc. So many companies like Levi's, Nike, Adidas have been doing this for a very long time period. This helps them to stay focused and offer the products according to the demographic features. While you look into the psychographic segmentation, it focuses on those areas like lifestyle, social life, behavior, values, attitudes, interest, etc. Can you give me an example? Very good. Nokia has been doing this for a very long time period, and they were able to do this. Because of this, they were able to dominate the market for a very long time period till Apple and other Android phones came into the market. Whereas look into the behavioral segmentation, it's more or less more into loyalty based on occasions, usage rate, and usage status. So based on these segmentations, it helps the organization to further target the market. So let's look into for today's session, I have created a simulation activity for you all. For this purpose, let's assume that we are working for Toyota car manufacturing company, and you are working as an assistant marketing manager, and I'm your marketing manager. So you have to help me in deciding which segment we will focus on, whom we will target, what kind of offering we will have, how we will price it, promote it, and position ourselves. For this purpose, you have been divided in groups of 3. Each student in the group will have a different segment in front of you. Segment A student, segment B student, and segment C student will read the data sheet given to you. After thoroughly reading this, you will then talk to your friends in your team about the other segments. After discussing, you will have to click on the link given below. Once you click on the link, you will look into the survey here. This survey is basically for you to collect information from other team members. After discussing with your team members, you will come to know which segment is willing to pay most for the car. If it is A, B, or C, this will help you in communication skills, negotiation skills, and also interpersonal skills. After discussing with your team members, you will also be able to decide which segment has the highest number of potential buyers, and the one which has the largest market size, and the ones which are hardest to please. After doing this activity, you'll go back to individual activity. Based on the data sheet I have given to you, the students who have segment A will read their data sheet, look into the profile given to the students. The student will read thoroughly the values, the profile, the interest, the details, the price range they're willing to pay, everything, and then they will complete the remaining activity. For example, if segment A believes that they have no importance for comfort, you will click on 0 in percentage. And if you believe that segment A gives more importance to design, you will click on 100. If they give moderate importance to environment, then you will click on 50 percentage. If accordingly, then you will click on the product and you will complete those 5 criteria given in the survey. After completing this, you will also complete for your segment what are the various promotional activities you will use. Internet ads, pictogram, my book, TV and movies, radio, or trade fairs. So the information which is given in the data sheet will help you in deciding how you're going to do this promotional activities for your segment. After completing that, you'll also be able to decide what kind of distribution channels you will use for your segment. For this activity, you have next 10 to 15 minutes to do this. And your time starts now. Yes, now that we have completed the activity where we have done the individual as well as the group activity, you all have data in front of you. Now all the segment A students will assemble on the left side of the class, and segment C will assemble on the right side of the class, and segment B in the middle of the class. Now you can see that there is a A3 size paper in front of you, and some color marker pens are there for you. Now, segment A students and B and C will accordingly design a car for Toyota car manufacturing company depending on the information you have. Yes, but before doing that, segment A, can you tell me which segment are you looking at? Very good, elderly people, very good, clap for them. Whereas segment B, you are looking into, very good, teenagers, very good, yes. And while segment C, you have been looking at working people. Now you all 3 have different segments. Can you help me in identifying what type of segments have we used here from the 4 segments we've seen in today's session? Is it geographic? Very good. We haven't used geographic. segmentation here. Then what did we use? Yes, you're correct. We have used, first one is demographic, based on age, gender, income. Yes, we have used demographic. Excellent. What about values, interest? Which demographic, which segmentation it is? You're right. It's behavioral. It's psychographic. I'm sorry. All right. After we've done this, now I want you to spend next 10 minutes in class where you will make a poster, where you will design a car. You will mention the out of the five criteria in the product segment, product criteria: comfort, design, environment, safety, etc. You will design a car for each of these segments. Yeah. And then you will also tell me how you will promote this, whether you will promote it through my book, pictogram, TV ads, radio. How will you promote this car for these each segment? And you will pitch in to me after 15 minutes. You and your team will have to pitch this segment with the product offering, how you will target them, how you will position this product in the market, and what type of distribution channel will you use. That will help us to understand how segmentation is done in a market, and how that further helps them in targeting, positioning, and competing in the market. Thank you, guys. Uh, Before we leave, I also have an activity for you to do over the weekend. This is the case study which focuses on bubbling tea market. So you will have to read through this activity, which talks about the emerging tea market with the bubble tea, or also known as booba tea. Now, after reading this activity case study, you'll have to answer to the questions which are given at the end. You can find this case study in our Moodle or Blackboard platform as well. So you need to answer these questions, and we will discuss these questions in the next session. Thank you, guys.